My name is Emma Parker, and I am 20 years old. I am a senior at the University of Colorado, Denver, majoring in marketing with a 3.7 GPA, and I have spent the last 3 years raising a child who is not mine. A child whose father lives in the same house, sleeps 10 feet down the hall, and has never changed a diaper in his life. That child is my nephew Liam, and his father is my 23-year-old brother Tyler, who got his high school girlfriend Jessica pregnant when he was 19 and she was 18. Jessica stuck around for about a year after Liam was born, but the responsibility of motherhood at 19 proved too much for her. She moved back to California with her parents when Liam was 13 months old, leaving Tyler with full custody and child support payments she has never made. Tyler moved back into our childhood home with our parents, bringing Liam with him. The plan, according to everyone involved, was that Tyler would figure out how to be a single father, while Mom and Dad helped with childcare so he could finish his community college degree and find stable work. What actually happened was that I became Liam's primary caregiver, while Tyler continued living like a teenager, whose biggest responsibility was remembering to put gas in his car. It started small, the way these things always do. Tyler had a job interview. Could I watch Liam for a few hours? Tyler had a date. Could I babysit on Saturday night? Tyler was feeling overwhelmed. Could I take Liam to his pediatrician appointment? Each request came with the same explanation. Family helps family. Tyler was going through a difficult time. He needed support. I was the responsible one, the one who was good with kids, the one who could be counted on, and I was good with kids. I had been babysitting since I was 13. I had worked at summer camps. I genuinely enjoyed spending time with Liam. He was a sweet, funny little boy who called me Aunt Emmy and lit up when I walked into a room. But somewhere along the way, babysitting occasionally became babysitting regularly, which became babysitting constantly, which became being responsible for every aspect of a toddler's life, while his actual father treated childcare like a favor other people did for him. This morning was typical. I woke up at 6:30 to the sound of Liam crying in the room next to mine. Tyler's room was silent. I waited 5 minutes, hoping Tyler would wake up and handle it, but the crying continued. I got up, changed Liam's diaper, got him dressed, made him breakfast, and settled him in front of cartoons while I got ready for my internship at a downtown marketing firm. Tyler wandered into the kitchen around 8:15, poured himself coffee, and sat down at the table like he was a guest in someone else's house. "Morning," he said, scrolling through his phone. "Liam needs to be at daycare by 9, I said, packing my laptop bag. "Yeah, I know. And he has a doctor's appointment at 3. Just a routine checkup, but someone needs to pick him up from daycare and take him. I am working until 5 today." Tyler worked at a sporting goods store, a part-time job he had held for 8 months, which was actually a record for him. His previous employment history included a brief stint at a pizza place, 2 weeks at a car wash, and a seasonal position at Target that ended when he stopped showing up after Christmas. "So, what are you saying?" "I am saying I cannot take him to the doctor. Tyler, he is your son. I know he is my son, but I also have responsibilities. I cannot just leave work whenever Liam needs something. Other parents manage to take their kids to doctor appointments. Other parents do not work retail jobs where you get fired for asking for time off. Other parents prioritize their children over jobs that pay minimum wage and treat employees badly. Not everyone can afford to be picky about jobs, Emma. You could afford to be pickier if you had finished your degree instead of dropping out to focus on your music." Tyler's music career consisted of playing guitar in a band called Broken Symmetry that performed at open mic nights and had recorded exactly 0 songs. For 2 years, Tyler had been talking about how the band was on the verge of getting discovered, how they just needed to focus on their sound, how a record deal was right around the corner. "My music is important. Your son is more important. I never said he was not important, but I need to have a life too." "When do I get to have a life?" "You have a life. You are in college. You have your internship. You have friends. I have college classes that I sometimes miss because I have to stay home with Liam when he is sick. I have an internship where I leave early twice a week to pick him up from daycare. I have friends I never see because I spend every weekend babysitting. No one is forcing you to babysit. Are you not? Because every time I say I cannot watch him, Mom starts talking about how hard things are for you and how much you need support and how families are supposed to help each other. Mom is right. Families do help each other. And what do you do to help the family, Tyler?" "I work. I pay rent." Tyler paid $200 a month in rent. which covered approximately nothing in terms of actual household expenses. Our parents paid for Liam's daycare, his clothes, his food, his medical expenses, and pretty much everything else related to raising a child. You pay a fraction of what it costs to live here, and you contribute nothing to taking care of your own son. I contribute plenty. Like what? I read to him sometimes. I play with him. I put him to bed. You put him to bed when you are home, which is maybe 3 nights a week. I put him to bed the other 4 nights because you are out with friends, or at band practice, or on dates. I am 23 years old. I should be able to go out sometimes. You should be able to go out sometimes. But you should not be able to go out every night while someone else raises your child. You are being dramatic. I am being realistic. Tyler, when was the last time you changed Liam's diaper? Tyler paused, coffee cup halfway to his mouth. I change his diapers. When? All the time. Give me a specific example from this week. I do not keep track of every diaper change, Emma. That is because you do not change diapers. I change diapers. Mom changes diapers when I am not here. You have never changed a diaper in your life. That is not true. Name one time. One specific time when you changed Liam's diaper. Tyler set down his coffee and looked at me like I was asking him to solve advanced calculus. I helped Jessica change diapers when he was a baby. Helped how? I handed her stuff. You handed her stuff. And I held him while she got the clean diaper ready. Tyler, that is not changing a diaper. That is watching someone else change a diaper. It is participating in the process. Participating in the process is not the same as taking responsibility for the process. Fine, so I am not great with diapers. There are other things I do. Like what? I take him to the park sometimes. When? When you ask me to take him to the park. So you take him to the park when I plan the activity, pack his snacks, make sure he is dressed appropriately for the weather, and tell you exactly when to leave and when to come back. You are good at planning stuff. I am good at planning stuff because I have to be good at planning stuff. Because if I do not plan it, it does not happen. That is not true. Is it not? Tyler, what time does Liam eat lunch? I do not know. Lunchtime. What does he eat for lunch? Kid food. What kind of kid food? Sandwiches and stuff. What kind of sandwiches? I do not know, Emma. Whatever is in the fridge. He is allergic to peanuts. I know that. Do you? Because last month you gave him a granola bar with peanuts in it, and he broke out in hives. That was an accident. It was an accident that happened because you do not pay attention to what you are feeding your own child. I pay attention. You pay attention when someone else is managing the details for you. But Tyler, what happens when I am not here? What happens when I graduate and move out and get a job somewhere else? We will figure it out. We will figure it out, or you will figure it out. I will figure it out. How? I do not know. I will learn. You have had 3 years to learn. Liam is 3 years old, and you still do not know what time he eats lunch or what his favorite foods are or what size clothes he wears. I know some of that stuff. What size clothes does he wear? 3T. He wears 4T. He has been wearing 4T for 6 months. Close enough. Tyler, it is not close enough. You are his father. You should know these things. I know the important things. What are the important things? I know that he is healthy and happy and loved. He is healthy because I take him to all his doctor appointments. He is happy because I make sure he has a routine and activities and attention when he needs it. He is loved because everyone in this family except you takes care of him. I love him. I know you love him. But love is not enough to raise a child. Love without responsibility is just a feeling. What do you want from me, Emma? I want you to be his father instead of his fun uncle who shows up when it is convenient. I am his father. You are his biological father. But you are not doing the work of being his father. What work? The work of waking up when he cries. The work of knowing what he needs before he needs it. The work of making sacrifices for his well-being. The work of putting his needs ahead of your wants. I do put his needs ahead of my wants. When? All the time. Give me an example. I moved back home to take care of him. You moved back home because you could not afford to live anywhere else after Jessica left. And you do not take care of him. Other people take care of him while you live here rent-free. I pay rent. You pay $200 a month to live in a house where other people feed your child, clothe your child, and provide childcare so you can work a part-time job and play in a band. My band is important to me. More important than your son. It is not more important than my son, but it is important for my future. Tyler, your future is sitting in the living room watching cartoons. Your future is 3 years old and needs his father to grow up and take responsibility for raising him. I am trying to provide for him. You are trying to avoid providing for him by letting other people do it while you pursue your dreams. There is nothing wrong with having dreams. There is nothing wrong with having dreams. But there is something wrong with expecting other people to sacrifice their dreams so you can pursue yours. No one is asking you to sacrifice your dreams. Are you not? Because I have been putting my life on hold for 3 years to help raise your child while you figure out how to be an adult. I never asked you to do that. You did not have to ask. You just stopped doing it yourself and let other people pick up the slack. I do what I can. You do what you want. There is a difference. Tyler stood up from the table, clearly frustrated by the conversation. I have to get ready for work. And I have to take your son to his doctor appointment because you cannot get time off from a job you have had for 8 months. Emma, I appreciate everything you do for Liam, but you do not get to lecture me about how to be a father. Why not? Because you are not his parent. You are right. I am not his parent, but I am doing the job of his parent while his actual parent plays dress-up as a rock star. That is not fair. You know what is not fair? Being 20 years old and spending every weekend changing diapers and planning birthday parties, and staying up all night with a sick toddler because his father is out at a bar. I have never asked you to stay up all night with him. You have never offered to stay up all night with him either. He usually sleeps through the night. He usually sleeps through the night now. But for the first 2 years of his life, he woke up crying several times a night. And I was the one who got up with him because you said you needed your sleep for work. I did need my sleep for work. And I did not need my sleep for school. School is different than work. How? School is flexible. You can make up missed classes or study later. Work has a schedule. Tyler, I have missed more classes because of Liam than you have missed work shifts. I have turned down study groups and tutoring opportunities and social events because I was babysitting. I have written papers while he napped and studied for exams while he played at my feet. And I appreciate that. I do not want your appreciation. I want you to take responsibility for your own child so I can focus on my own life. What life? You spend all your time studying anyway. I spend all my time studying because that is the only time I have to study. Between babysitting and my internship and my part-time job, I study at midnight and on buses and during lunch breaks because those are the only hours available to me. You chose to take on all those things. I chose to take on school and work. I did not choose to take on raising your child. No one forced you to help with Liam. No one forced me, but everyone expected me to. And when I try to say no, everyone acts like I am being selfish for wanting to focus on my own future instead of sacrificing it for yours. Tyler headed toward the stairs, clearly done with the conversation. I really do have to get ready for work. Tyler, what happens when I graduate in May? What do you mean? I mean I am graduating in 3 months. I am going to get a job, probably in another city. I am going to move out and start my own life. What happens to Liam when I am not here to take care of him? Mom and Dad will help. Mom and Dad are 60 years old. They should not be responsible for raising another child. They want to help. They help because they love Liam and they love you. But Tyler, they raise their children. They should be enjoying their retirement, not changing diapers and dealing with temper tantrums and driving to daycare every day. Lots of grandparents help with childcare. Help with childcare, yes. Provide all the childcare while the parent pursues hobbies? No. My music is not a hobby. Your music is a hobby until it pays your bills. And even if it becomes a career, you still need to figure out how to be a father while pursuing it. I am figuring it out. You have been figuring it out for 3 years. How much more time do you need? I do not know, Emma. I am doing the best I can. Are you? Because your best seems to involve a lot of other people doing the work while you do whatever you want. I work. I contribute to the household. You work 25 hours a week at a job that pays minimum wage. I work 30 hours a week at my internship, plus 15 hours a week at a tutoring center, and I still do more childcare than you do. You like spending time with Liam. I love spending time with Liam. But I love spending time with him as his aunt, not as his unpaid nanny. What is the difference? The difference is that aunts get to spoil their nephews, and then send them home to their parents. Nannies are responsible for everything, but they get paid for their work. Are you saying I should pay you? I am saying you should take care of your own child instead of expecting other people to do it for free. Emma, I really cannot be late for work. And I really cannot keep having this conversation every time I point out that you are not fulfilling your responsibilities as a father. Tyler stopped at the bottom of the stairs and turned back to face me. What do you want me to do? Quit my job? Stop trying to build a career? Give up everything I care about to focus only on Liam? I want you to find a balance between being a father and pursuing your goals. The same balance that every other parent in the world has to find. It is not that simple. It is exactly that simple. Millions of people manage to raise children while working and pursuing their dreams. They do it by making their children a priority and organizing their lives around their responsibilities as parents. I am not like other people. You are exactly like other people. You are a parent. That comes with obligations whether you like it or not. I never planned to be a single parent. None of us planned for Jessica to leave. But she did leave. And now you have to deal with the reality of raising Liam on your own, instead of continuing to live like someone else is going to handle it for you. I am handling it. Tyler, you are not handling it. You are letting it be handled while you go about your life as if you do not have a 3-year-old child depending on you for everything. That is not true. When was the last time you planned a meal for Liam? I do not plan meals. I feed him when he is hungry. What did you feed him for dinner last night? I was at band practice last night. Exactly. I fed him dinner last night and the night before, and the night before that. You were at band practice, which is fine, but someone had to make sure your child ate dinner. Mom was here. Mom was here, so Mom fed him. But Tyler, what happens when Mom is not here? What happens when I am not here? What happens when you are the only adult in the house, and Liam needs dinner? I will figure it out. You will figure it out, or you will call someone to come help you figure it out. Tyler did not answer, which was answer enough. I have to go to work, he said finally, and I have to take your son to the doctor because his father cannot get time off from a part-time job to take care of basic parental responsibilities. Emma, I really do appreciate everything you do. Stop appreciating me and start parenting your child. Tyler went upstairs to get ready for work, leaving me in the kitchen with Liam, who had finished his breakfast and was asking for more juice. I poured him a cup, wiped his face, and started mentally reorganizing my day to accommodate a pediatrician appointment that I should not have been responsible for scheduling or attending. At 9 o'clock, I dropped Liam off at daycare and drove to my internship, where I spent the morning working on a marketing campaign for a local restaurant chain. At 2:30, I left work early, picked up Liam from daycare, and took him to his doctor appointment. Dr. Martinez, Liam's pediatrician, had gotten used to seeing me instead of Tyler at these appointments. "How is our little guy doing?" she asked as Liam climbed onto the examination table. "He is doing great. No concerns. Just the routine checkup." "And how is Dad?" "I have not seen him in a while. Dad is working." "That is too bad. It is nice when both parents can be involved in medical care." "Yeah, it is." Dr. Martinez completed Liam's examination, updated his vaccinations, and gave me a printout of his growth chart and developmental milestones. "Everything looks perfect," she said. "He is meeting all his benchmarks for a 3-year-old. That is great to hear. You are doing a wonderful job with him." "Thank you. I will see you both in 6 months for his next checkup." As we left the doctor's office, Liam held my hand and chattered about the stickers Dr. Martinez had given him. "Aunt Emmy, can we get ice cream?" "We can get ice cream, but just a small one, okay? We do not want to spoil your dinner." "Okay, I want chocolate." "Chocolate sounds perfect." We stopped at a frozen yogurt shop near the daycare, and Liam carefully chose his toppings while I checked emails on my phone. My internship supervisor had sent me information about a marketing position in Seattle that she thought I might be interested in applying for. The job sounded amazing, the kind of opportunity that could launch my career, but it would mean moving to another state. As I watched Liam enjoy his ice cream, I realized that for the first time in 3 years, I was considering my future without automatically factoring in his needs. The thought felt both exciting and guilt-inducing. That evening, after I had fed Liam dinner, given him a bath, and put him to bed, I found my parents in the living room watching television. "How did the doctor visit go?" Mom asked. "Fine, he is healthy and developing normally." "That is wonderful. Dr. Martinez is so good with him." "She is." She asked where Tyler was. "He was working. You know he cannot just leave work whenever there is an appointment. Other parents manage to leave work for their children's medical appointments. Other parents have different jobs. Tyler is still getting established in his career." "Mom, Tyler works at a sporting goods store. That is not a career, that is a job. and he has been getting established for 3 years. He is doing his best, Emma. His best involves me taking his child to doctor appointments because he cannot ask for time off from a part-time job. You are good with Liam. He trusts you. He trusts me because I am the one who takes care of him. But Mom, that should not be my responsibility. Family helps family. And what does Tyler do to help the family? Tyler works. He pays rent. He is trying to get his life together. He pays $200 a month and works 25 hours a week. I work 45 hours a week between my internship and my tutoring job. I go to school full-time, and I still do more childcare than he does. You do not have a child to worry about. I do not have a child, but I am raising one anyway. Dad looked up from his newspaper. Emma, no one is forcing you to help with Liam. You are not forcing me, but you are expecting me to. And when I try to say no, everyone acts like I am being selfish. Are you saying you do not want to help with your nephew? I am saying I want to help with my nephew the way an aunt helps, not the way a parent helps. What is the difference? The difference is that I should get to choose when and how I spend time with him, not be automatically responsible for his care whenever Tyler has something else he would rather be doing. Tyler is going through a difficult time, Mom said. Being a single parent is hard. Being a single parent is hard. But Tyler is not really a single parent. He is a biological father who lives in the same house as his child while other people do the actual parenting. That is not fair. What is not fair is expecting me to sacrifice my college experience and my future opportunities to help raise a child whose father is perfectly capable of raising him himself. Emma, we are not asking you to sacrifice anything. Are you not? Because I just got information about a job opportunity in Seattle, and my first thought was not whether I wanted the job, but whether I could take it because of how it would affect Liam. That shows how much you care about him. It shows how much you have all made his care my responsibility. Mom, I should not have to consider my 3-year-old nephew when making career decisions. That should be his father's job. You are being selfish, Dad said. I am being realistic. I am 20 years old. I am about to graduate from college. I should be focused on starting my career and building my own life, not raising someone else's child. Liam is not someone else's child. He is family. He is family, but he is not my child. And I should not be expected to make life decisions based on what is best for him when his actual father is not making life decisions based on what is best for him. Mom and Dad exchanged a look, one of those parental communications that excluded me from the conversation. What do you want us to do, Emma? Mom asked finally. I want you to stop enabling Tyler's irresponsibility. I want you to expect him to be a father instead of expecting me to be a mother. We do expect him to be a father. No, you do not. You expect him to try to be a father while other people pick up the slack when he fails. He is learning. He has had 3 years to learn. At what point do you stop calling it learning and start calling it choosing not to take responsibility? Emma, you do not understand what it is like to be a young parent. You are right. I do not understand what it is like to be a young parent. But I understand what it is like to help raise a child when you are young and trying to build your own future. And we appreciate everything you do. I do not want your appreciation. I want Tyler to do his job so I can focus on mine. You want what job? Being a student, being an intern, building a career, living my life. You can do all those things and still help with Liam. I can do all those things poorly while helping with Liam. But I cannot do them well while spending 20 hours a week providing childcare for someone else's child. He is not someone else's child. He is Tyler's child. Tyler should be the one sacrificing sleep and social time and career opportunities to raise him. Tyler is sacrificing things too. What is Tyler sacrificing? He moved back home. He gave up his independence. He moved back home because he could not afford to live anywhere else. And he gets free housing, free food, and free childcare. That is not sacrifice. That is the best deal he has ever gotten. You are being harsh. I am being honest. And maybe if someone had been honest with Tyler 3 years ago about what it means to be a parent, he would have learned to take responsibility instead of expecting everyone else to do it for him. The conversation continued for another hour, but nothing was resolved. My parents saw Tyler as a young man doing his best in difficult circumstances, who deserved support and understanding. I saw him as a 23-year-old who was avoiding his responsibilities while other people raised his child. That night, I lay in bed listening to Liam cough in the next room and wondering if I should check on him. In the morning, I would probably be the one taking him to urgent care if the cough got worse, because Tyler would be at work, and my parents would think I was better at handling medical situations. I thought about the job opportunity in Seattle, about the life I could build for myself if I was not tied down by childcare responsibilities that should not be mine. For the first time in 3 years, I started seriously considering what would happen if I just said no, if I stopped being available for babysitting, stopped taking Liam to appointments, stopped filling in the gaps that Tyler left when he prioritized everything else over his son. It was a terrifying thought, but also a liberating one. Maybe it was time to find out what would happen if Tyler actually had to be a father, instead of just playing one when it was convenient. The opportunity to finally say no came 2 weeks later, on a Friday afternoon when I was at my internship working on a presentation for Monday morning. My phone buzzed with a text from Tyler. "Hey, can you pick up Liam from daycare? Got called into work." I stared at the message, my fingers hovering over the keyboard. 6 months ago, I would have immediately responded yes and rearranged my entire afternoon. But something had shifted since our conversation in the kitchen. I was tired of being the automatic solution to Tyler's scheduling conflicts. I texted back, "I cannot leave work early today. Can you ask Mom or Dad? Mom is at her book club and Dad is playing golf. Come on, Emma. It is just this once. Just this once." The phrase Tyler had been using for 3 years to describe emergencies that happened twice a week. "Tyler, I have a major presentation Monday that I need to finish. You will have to figure something out." My phone started ringing immediately. Tyler's name flashed on the screen, but I let it go to voicemail. Then it rang again, and again. On the 4th call, I answered. "Emma, what the hell? I need you to pick up Liam. And I need to finish this presentation. You are going to have to leave work early." I cannot leave work early. They called me in to cover for someone who called in sick. If I leave, I will look unreliable. And if I leave, I will look unreliable to my internship supervisor. The difference is that Liam is your responsibility, not mine. Emma, please. I really need this job. Then you should have thought about that before you had a child. Parents have to leave work sometimes for their kids. That is part of being a parent. I cannot afford to lose this job. You cannot afford to keep expecting other people to raise your child either. Fine. I will call Mom. Mom is at her book club. You already said that. I will call her anyway. She can leave early. Tyler, Mom should not have to leave her book club because you cannot manage your own childcare. What am I supposed to do? Leave Liam at daycare overnight? You are supposed to pick up your son from daycare like every other parent in the world does when they have scheduling conflicts. But I am working. So am I. Your internship is not a real job. The words hit me like a slap. My internship, which I had worked incredibly hard to get, which required 30 hours a week of professional work, which was leading to job opportunities that could launch my career, was not a real job according to Tyler. My internship is absolutely a real job. And even if it were not, my time is not automatically less valuable than yours just because you have a child. Emma, I am begging you. Please. I am not available, Tyler. You are going to have to handle this yourself. How? The same way millions of other single parents handle childcare emergencies. You are going to have to leave work and take care of your child. I cannot. Then you cannot. But I am not doing it for you. I hung up and turned off my phone. My hands were shaking, but I felt something I had not felt in years. The freedom of saying no without caving to guilt or pressure or family obligation. An hour later, my supervisor knocked on my office door. "Emma, your mother is on the front desk phone. She says it is an emergency." My stomach dropped. I had turned off my cell phone, so they had called the main office number. "Can you transfer the call to me?" "Of course." I picked up my desk phone with dread. "Mom? Emma, thank God. I need you to pick up Liam from daycare. Tyler called me in a panic and I am 40 minutes away at my book club. I cannot leave work right now. I have a presentation due Monday. Emma, this is an emergency." "It is not an emergency. It is Tyler being irresponsible and expecting other people to fix it for him. He got called into work. That is not irresponsible. He got called into work and automatically assumed someone else would handle his childcare. That is the definition of irresponsible. Emma, Liam is at daycare waiting to be picked up. You cannot just leave him there. I am not leaving him there. His father is going to pick him up. Tyler cannot leave work. Then Tyler should not have had a child. Emma? Mom, I am serious. Tyler has been a father for 3 years. At some point, he needs to learn that having a child means making sacrifices for that child. And what about your sacrifices? What about helping family? I have been helping family for 3 years. I have sacrificed my social life, my study time, my work opportunities, and my peace of mind to help raise Tyler's child. Now it is Tyler's turn to sacrifice something. But he could lose his job, and I could lose my internship if I keep leaving early for childcare emergencies that are not my responsibility. That is different. How is it different? Tyler needs this job to support Liam. Tyler needs to learn how to balance work and childcare like every other parent in the world. And the only way he is going to learn that is if people stop fixing his problems for him. Emma, please. Just this once. It is not just this once, Mom. It is twice a week for 3 years. I am done. What does that mean? It means I am not available for emergency babysitting anymore. Tyler is going to have to figure out how to manage his own childcare. You cannot just stop helping with Liam. I am not stopping helping with Liam. I am stopping being Tyler's backup plan every time he does not want to deal with the inconvenience of being a parent. Emma, this is not like you. This is exactly like me. This is me finally standing up for myself instead of letting everyone take advantage of my willingness to help. No one is taking advantage of you. Are you not? Because I have been providing free childcare for 3 years while Tyler works part-time and pursues his music career. How is that not taking advantage? You love Liam. I do love Liam. But love does not mean sacrificing my entire future to enable someone else's irresponsibility. What are you saying? I am saying that I got offered a job in Seattle, and I am going to take it. The words came out before I had fully decided to say them, but as soon as they were in the air, I knew they were true. Seattle? There is a marketing position with a tech startup. Great salary, great opportunities for advancement, and most importantly, it is my own life that I get to build for myself. Emma, you cannot move to Seattle. Why not? Because Liam needs you. Liam needs his father. That is who children are supposed to need. Tyler is not ready to handle full-time parenting. Then Tyler needs to get ready. He has had 3 years to prepare for this. But you are so good with Liam. Being good with children does not make someone responsible for raising children that are not theirs. Emma, please think about this. I have been thinking about this for weeks. I am 20 years old, Mom. I should be excited about starting my career, not worried about how my career choices will affect my nephew's childcare situation. But family is more important than career. Family is important. But Tyler's family is Tyler and Liam. My family is me, and someday it will include a partner and maybe children of my own. But right now, my priority needs to be building a foundation for that future. You are being selfish. I am being responsible for my own life. There is a difference. What about Liam? What about him? He loves you. You are like a mother to him. I am not his mother. His mother left, and his father needs to step up and be both parents instead of expecting his sister to fill that role. Emma, please do not do this. I am not doing anything to anyone. I am making choices about my own life, but those choices affect Liam. They affect Tyler. Liam will be fine once Tyler learns how to take care of him properly. And if Tyler cannot learn, then Tyler will face the consequences of not learning. But those consequences are not my responsibility. I cannot believe you are saying this. I cannot believe it has taken me this long to say it. I hung up and immediately called the Seattle company to accept their job offer. The position started in 6 weeks, which would give me time to finish my internship and graduate. For the first time in 3 years, I felt like I was making a decision based purely on what was best for my future, without considering how it would affect Tyler's childcare situation. That evening, I came home to chaos. Tyler was in the living room with Liam, who was crying and asking for juice. Tyler looked frazzled and exhausted. "Where have you been?" he demanded when I walked through the door. "At work, where I said I would be. I had to leave work early to pick up Liam. My manager was not happy. I am sorry your manager was not happy. But Tyler, that is what parents do. They leave work when their children need them. I could lose my job over this. You might. And if you do, you will have to find another job that is more flexible or arrange for more reliable childcare. More reliable childcare? Childcare that you pay for and schedule in advance, instead of assuming family members will always be available for emergencies. Emma, I cannot afford professional childcare. Then you cannot afford to keep working a job that does not pay enough to cover your child's needs. So what am I supposed to do? You are supposed to figure it out, the same way every other single parent figures it out. But I need help. You can ask for help, but you cannot expect help. And you cannot base your entire childcare plan on other people being available whenever you need them. What is that supposed to mean? It means I took a job in Seattle. I am moving in 6 weeks. Tyler stared at me like I had just announced I was joining the circus. You are moving to Seattle? Yes. For how long? Permanently. Emma, you cannot move to Seattle. Why not? Because we need you here. You need to learn how to live without me here. But what about Liam? What about him? He needs you. He needs his father. You are going to have to learn how to take care of him yourself. I do not know how. Then you are going to have to learn. Tyler, millions of people raise children successfully. You can figure it out. But you are so much better at it than I am. I am better at it because I have been doing it for 3 years. You would be better at it too if you had been doing it instead of letting other people do it for you. Emma, please do not move to Seattle. I am moving to Seattle. What if I pay you? Pay me what? To stay and help with Liam. I could pay you like a nanny. With what money? You work part-time at a sporting goods store. I could get a better job. You should get a better job anyway. You have a child to support. But if I get a better job, will you stay? No, Tyler. I will not stay. I am 20 years old, and I am not going to spend my 20s raising your child while you figure out how to be an adult. But what about Liam? Liam will be fine. Children adapt. He will learn to rely on his father instead of his aunt. What if he does not? Then you will have to work harder to be the kind of father he can rely on. Emma, I am scared. You should be scared. Being a parent is scary, but fear does not excuse you from doing the job. What if I mess up? You will mess up. All parents mess up. But you will also figure it out because you will have to. What if I cannot? Then you will ask for help from professionals, or you will consider other arrangements for Liam's care. But those are decisions you need to make as his father, not problems I need to solve as his aunt. Tyler sat down heavily on the couch, looking overwhelmed by the prospect of actually having to raise his own child. I do not know how to do this. You learn by doing it. You start changing diapers, planning meals, scheduling appointments, and handling the thousands of small responsibilities that come with caring for a child. That sounds exhausting. It is exhausting. That is why I need to stop doing it and focus on my own life. But you make it look so easy. I make it look easy because I have been practicing for 3 years while you were avoiding it. If you had been practicing for 3 years, you would make it look easy too. What if Liam hates me? Liam will not hate you, but he might be confused at first when you start acting like his father instead of his fun uncle. What does that mean? It means you will have to be the one who sets rules, enforces bedtimes, deals with tantrums, and handles all the unglamorous parts of parenting that you have been avoiding. I do not want to be the bad guy. You do not get to choose to only be the fun parent when there are 2 parents. But when there is only 1 parent, that parent has to be everything. This is going to be really hard. Yes, it is. But Tyler, you are 23 years old. You are capable of learning how to take care of your own child. What if I'm not? Then you will get help. Parenting classes, family counseling, whatever you need. But you will get help for yourself, not expect family members to do the job for you. Over the next 6 weeks, as I prepared for my move to Seattle, Tyler was forced to learn how to be a full-time father. It was not pretty. There were meltdowns from both Tyler and Liam. There were frantic phone calls asking how to handle various situations. There were moments when I was tempted to step in and fix things, but I did not step in. I offered advice when asked, but I did not take over when things got difficult. Slowly, Tyler began to figure it out. He learned Liam's schedule, his preferences, his moods. He started planning ahead instead of just reacting to immediate needs. He got better at managing work and childcare, even though it meant making sacrifices he had never had to make before. 2 weeks before I was scheduled to move, Tyler came into my room while I was packing. Emma, I want to apologize. For what? For everything. For taking advantage of you. For not appreciating everything you did for Liam. For acting like being his aunt made you automatically responsible for raising him. Thank you. I had no idea how much work you were doing until I had to do it myself. It is a lot of work. It is constant. I do not know how you managed it while going to school and working. I managed it because I had to, the same way you are managing it now. I almost quit my job 3 times in the past month. But you did not quit. No, I did not quit. I talked to my manager about a more flexible schedule, and I found a backup daycare for emergencies. That is what parents do. I know that now. I should have known it 3 years ago. You know it now. That is what matters. Emma, do you think Liam will be okay when you move? I think Liam will be better than okay. I think he will finally have a father who knows how to take care of him. I am going to miss having you here to help. You should miss it. It was easier when I was doing half the work. But Tyler, you are doing a good job. You have learned more about being a father in the past 6 weeks than you learned in the previous 3 years. That is because I had to learn. You were not there to fall back on. Exactly. I wish I had figured this out sooner. You figured it out when you needed to figure it out. I wasted 3 years. You did not waste them. You were scared and overwhelmed and not ready to be a parent. But now you are ready, and that is what matters for Liam's future. Do you forgive me? I forgive you. But more importantly, you need to forgive yourself for not being ready earlier and focus on being the father Liam needs now. I am going to try. You are going to succeed. On my last day in Denver, I spent the morning with Liam while Tyler was at work. We went to the park, got ice cream, and read stories. I explained that I was moving to a new city for my job, but that I would still be his Aunt Emma, and I would still love him, even though I would not be living in the same house. Will you come visit me? He asked. I will come visit, and maybe you and Daddy can come visit me in Seattle. Will Daddy know how to take care of me when you are gone? Daddy has been learning how to take care of you. He's getting really good at it. He makes different sandwiches than you do. Different is okay. Daddy has his own way of doing things, and that is good too. I will miss you, Aunt Emmy. I will miss you too, buddy. But you are going to have so much fun with Daddy, and I will call you every week to hear about all your adventures. That evening, my whole family gathered for a goodbye dinner. The atmosphere was strange, sad that I was leaving, but also hopeful about the future I was building for myself. I am proud of you, Dad said as we finished dessert. It took courage to take this job. Thank you. And I am proud of Tyler too, Mom added. He has really stepped up these past few weeks. Tyler looked embarrassed, but pleased. I had good teachers, he said, looking at me. You had good motivation, I corrected. You did the work yourself. Emma, Tyler said, I want you to know that I understand now why you had to leave. I understand that I was not being fair to you, and I am grateful for everything you did while I was learning how to grow up. You do not need to be grateful. You just need to keep being a good father. I will. And Tyler? Yeah? Call me if you need advice, but do not call me to fix problems you can solve yourself. I will not. Good. 6 months later, I was settled in Seattle, working at a job I loved, living in an apartment with a view of Puget Sound, and finally feeling like I was building the life I had always wanted. Tyler called me every Sunday with updates about Liam. He had gotten a promotion at work that came with better hours and health insurance. He had enrolled Liam in swimming lessons. He had even started dating someone, a kindergarten teacher who understood the demands of single parenthood. How is Liam adjusting to Rebecca? I asked during one of our calls. Really well. She is good with kids, obviously, and she does not try to replace you or take over. She just supports what I am already doing. That sounds healthy. It is. And Emma, I want you to know that I would never put Liam in a situation where someone else was doing all the parenting again. I learned my lesson. I am glad. I am thinking about proposing to Rebecca. Really. But I want to make sure I am doing it for the right reasons, not just because it would be convenient to have help with Liam. What are the right reasons? Because I love her. Because we have compatible goals and values. Because I want to build a life with her that includes Liam, but is not centered around finding someone to help me raise him. Those sound like the right reasons. I think so too. Tyler, I am really proud of who you have become as a father. Thank you. And Emma? Yeah? I am really proud of who you have become as a person who knows her own worth. Thank you. I am sorry it took me so long to learn that your life was just as important as mine. You learned eventually. That is what matters. A year later, Tyler and Rebecca got married in a small ceremony in my parents' backyard. I flew home for the wedding and was amazed by how different Tyler seemed. He was attentive to Liam's needs without being asked. He handled the logistics of managing a 4-year-old at a wedding with competence and calm. He was, in every way, a real father. During the reception, Liam ran up to me with chocolate cake on his face. Aunt Emmy, I missed you. I missed you too, buddy. Are you having fun at Daddy's wedding? Yes, Rebecca is my stepmom now, and she said we can get a dog. A dog sounds exciting. And Daddy said you might come visit us for Christmas. I am definitely coming for Christmas. Will you bring presents? I will bring presents. Good. I love you, Aunt Emmy. I love you too, Liam. As I watched him run back to Tyler and Rebecca, I felt something I had never felt before when it came to my nephew. Pure joy without any underlying stress or responsibility. I loved him completely, but I was not responsible for his daily care, his emotional needs, or his future. I was just his aunt who loved him and would always be there for him, but who had her own life to live. Tyler approached me later in the evening, looking handsome in his wedding suit and genuinely happy. "Thank you for coming," he said. "Thank you for inviting me. This was beautiful. Emma, I need to tell you something." "What?" "I know I said this before, but I need to say it again. I am sorry for the years when I made you feel like Liam was your responsibility. I am sorry for taking advantage of your love for him and your sense of family obligation. Tyler, you do not need to keep apologizing. I do, because I do not think I ever really understood how much I stole from you until I started doing the work myself. You did not steal anything from me. You needed help, and I helped. I needed to grow up. And instead of growing up, I let you be a parent so I could keep being a kid. But you did grow up. Look at you now. I grew up because you forced me to by leaving. If you had stayed, I probably would have kept letting you do the hard parts of parenting while I did the fun parts. Maybe. But that is not what happened. Emma, do you ever regret helping with Liam for all those years?" I considered the question. Did I regret the sleepless nights, the missed social events, the academic stress, the career limitations? "I do not regret helping him," I said finally. "I regret that it took me so long to realize that helping him did not require sacrificing myself. What is the difference? The difference is boundaries. I can love Liam and support his father without being responsible for his daily care. I can be a meaningful part of his life without giving up my own life. And now? Now I get to be the aunt I always wanted to be, the one who spoils him when I visit, who takes him on adventures, who is there for big moments and fun memories, but who also has her own career and relationships and dreams. That sounds perfect. It is perfect. For both of us. Emma? Yeah? Thank you for teaching me how to be a father by refusing to keep doing it for me. Thank you for learning how to be a father by doing the work yourself. I love you. I love you too." As the evening wound down and I prepared to return to Seattle the next morning, I reflected on how much had changed since that Friday afternoon, when I first said no to picking up Liam from daycare. Tyler had become a competent, dedicated father who knew his son's needs and met them consistently. Liam had a stable, loving home, with two parents who were committed to raising him together. My parents had learned to respect my boundaries and appreciate the life I was building for myself. And I had learned the most important lesson of all, that love without boundaries is not really love. It is enabling disguised as care, sacrifice disguised as generosity. True love requires knowing when to help and when to step back, when to support, and when to let people learn through their own struggles, when to be available, and when to prioritize your own needs. I had spent 3 years loving Liam and Tyler in a way that was unsustainable for me and ultimately unhealthy for them. I had been so afraid of being seen as selfish or uncaring that I had made myself indispensable in a way that prevented Tyler from becoming the father Liam needed. But once I learned to love them with boundaries, to care for them without sacrificing myself, everyone flourished. Tyler became the parent he was always capable of being. Liam got the consistent, reliable care he deserved. And I got to build the life I had always dreamed of while still being a meaningful part of theirs. 5 years later, I was back in Denver for Liam's 8th birthday party. Tyler and Rebecca had bought a house with a big backyard where Liam could play with his friends and their golden retriever, Buddy. As I watched Liam blow out his candles, surrounded by friends and family who loved him, I marveled at how different this scene was from the chaotic, stressful environment he had grown up in during his early years. Tyler was fully present, managing the party logistics with ease, making sure every child felt included, cleaning up messes without being asked. Rebecca was taking photos and coordinating games, clearly comfortable in her role as Liam's stepmother, and I was just Aunt Emma, the one who had brought the coolest present, and who would probably let Liam stay up too late watching movies during my visit. "Make a wish, Buddy," I called out as Liam prepared to blow out his candles. "I wish Aunt Emmy could visit more often," he announced before blowing them out. Everyone laughed, and Tyler caught my eye across the yard. "We all wish that," he said. "I wish I could visit more often too," I said. "But I love knowing that you guys are happy and doing well even when I am not here." "We are," Rebecca said, putting her arm around Tyler. "We really are." And they were. Tyler had become the father Liam deserved. Rebecca had become a loving stepmother who supported Tyler's parenting without taking over. Liam was thriving in a stable, consistent home where his needs were met by the people responsible for meeting them. And I was thriving too, in a career I loved, in a city I had chosen, in a life I had built for myself without having to sacrifice anyone else's well-being. That night, as I tucked Liam into bed, he asked me the same question he had asked when he was 3. "Will you come visit me again soon?" "I will come visit again soon," I promised. "But you know what?" "What?" "Even when I am not here, you have everything you need. You have Daddy and Rebecca who love you so much, and Grandma and Grandpa who spoil you rotten, and a whole life full of people who care about you." "I know," he said sleepily, "but I still like it when you visit." "I like visiting too, but I also like knowing that you are happy when I am not here." "I am happy," he said. "Daddy makes really good pancakes now. Better than mine. Different than yours, but good. Different is good. Aunt Emmy?" "Yeah, buddy. Thank you for teaching Daddy how to be a good daddy. Daddy learned how to be a good daddy all by himself. I just stopped doing it for him so he could figure it out." "Oh, well, thank you for that too." "You are welcome." As I kissed him goodnight and turned off his light, I realized that this was what success looked like. Not a family where one person sacrificed everything for everyone else's comfort, but a family where everyone took responsibility for their own choices and supported each other without losing themselves. It had taken me 3 years to learn that saying no to unreasonable requests was not selfish. It was necessary. It was the only way to create space for other people to grow into who they were supposed to be. And sometimes, the most loving thing you can do is refuse to keep solving problems that other people are capable of solving themselves. Tyler never did change that first diaper I challenged him about, but he changed thousands of diapers after that, once he realized that no one else was going to do it for him. And that made all the difference.